Anancy and the Hidden Treasure. One hot afternoon in the Caribbean countryside, Anancy the Spider was lying under a mango tree, scratching his belly and thinking about food as usual. He had eaten a little breakfast that morning, but it wasn't nearly enough for his greedy appetite. His 8 skinny legs twitched restlessly. He muttered to himself. If only I had something big, something rich, something sweet to fill my belly and make me the richest creature in this village. Just then, 2 farmers walked by, carrying baskets of yam on their heads. They were deep in conversation and did not notice the spider listening from the branches. One said to the other, "Remember that old chest of treasure the pirates hid in the forest? It's still there, buried under the silk cotton tree. Nobody dares to touch it for fear of curses." Anancy's little eyes lit up. Treasure? Pirates' treasure? Gold, jewels, maybe even fine food and clothes? His greedy heart pounded so hard he thought it might burst through his chest. "Oh, yes," he whispered. "That treasure will belong to me, Anancy, and no one else." But then he frowned. That chest must be heavy. I can't dig it up myself. My little legs can't handle such work. He thought and thought, then clapped his legs together. "Aha! I will trick the others into doing the hard work, and I'll keep the treasure for myself." The very next morning, Anancy went calling on his neighbors. First, he visited Dog, who was strong and loyal. Then he went to Goat, who was quick and clever with his horns. Lastly, he called Donkey, who had the greatest strength of them all. With his sweetest voice, Anancy said, "My dear friends, I have wonderful news. I overheard that a chest of treasure lies buried in the forest. If we go together and dig it up, we can share it equally. Each of us will be rich forever." Dog's tail wagged furiously. Goat bleated with excitement. Donkey stamped his hoof and said, "Let's go today." Anancy smiled, hiding his true thoughts. "You fools will dig and sweat, but I will take it all." So the 4 of them set out at sunrise, carrying shovels, baskets, and ropes. The forest was thick and alive with the sound of birds, crickets, and the rustle of leaves. Donkey cleared paths with his strong legs. Dog sniffed ahead for the right direction. Goat butted aside stones and vines. And Anancy? He hopped lightly, giving orders and pretending to lead. After many hours, they reached the giant silk cotton tree. Its roots twisted across the ground like giant snakes. The place was quiet, almost too quiet. Dog said, "This must be the spot." Donkey lifted his shovel, Goat lowered his head, and together they began to dig. Sweat rolled down their faces as the sun beat overhead. Meanwhile, Anancy perched on a rock, fanning himself with a leaf. "Dig deeper, my friends. A little more to the left, Dog. Push harder, Goat. Donkey, use all your strength there." He didn't lift a single leg to help. At last, the shovel struck something hard. Clang! The animals gasped. They brushed away the dirt, and there it was, a wooden chest, old and covered with moss, but still strong. Excitement filled the air. Goat bleated. "We found it!" Dog barked with joy. "Treasure at last!" But greedy Anancy quickly stepped forward. Wait, my friends. We must be careful. Everyone knows pirate treasure can be cursed. It might harm you if you open it. Allow me, your wise leader, to test it first." The others, a little nervous, agreed. They stepped back while Anancy crept toward the chest. His little legs trembled, not with fear, but with greed. Slowly, he lifted the lid, and his eyes nearly popped out of his head. Inside was gold, silver, shining jewels, and coins that sparkled in the sunlight. "Oh, mercy," Anancy whispered, his voice trembling. This is more than I ever dreamed." He wanted to scream with joy, but instead he slammed the chest shut quickly before the others could see. He spun around and shouted, "It's cursed! Run! Run for your lives!" Dog yelped and bolted into the forest. Goat bleated and ran the other way. Donkey brayed loudly and galloped off. Anancy laughed wickedly. "Fools! All mine! All mine!" He tied the heavy chest to his back with ropes, even though it was far too heavy for his tiny legs. Slowly, wobbling and stumbling, he dragged it through the forest, imagining himself the richest creature alive. But the forest had its own plans. The weight was too much for the little spider. He slipped on a patch of mud and rolled down a hill. Crash! Bang! Thump! The chest flew open and treasure scattered everywhere. Gold coins bounced into the bushes. Jewels sparkled and rolled down into the river. Parrots swooped down and carried shiny gems away in their beaks. Monkeys grabbed coins and chattered with delight. Even the wind seemed to snatch away his riches. Anancy groaned and scrambled, trying to collect what he could, but it was hopeless. By the time he struggled to his feet, the treasure was gone. Every last piece. Dog, goat, and donkey returned cautiously when they realized there was no curse. They found Anancy covered in mud, bruised and empty-handed. Dog barked with laughter. Goat shook his head and bleated, "Greedy Anancy, your lies cost you everything." Donkey added, "If you had shared, we all would have been rich." Anancy sighed deeply. His belly rumbled, his legs shook, and all he had left was his shame. From that day forward, the animals never trusted Anancy with treasure or promises again. And though he still plotted and schemed, he never forgot the day greed made him lose everything. Moral of the story: greed and trickery may win you something for a moment, but in the end, they will always leave you with nothing. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Anancy tales.